All right, gentlemen, cheers.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Here's the Joe Rogan experience.
Cheers to you, Alex Jones.
Here's to you, buddy. Good stuff.
People were so on one side or the other when it comes to this. There's so much anticipation regarding this
So
podcast.
much bullying about don't have Alex Jones on, I bet.
Well, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of, but you're going to call him on his racist shit. Someone said that to me.
That you're
I'm
racist.
like, Alex Jones is one of the least racist people you'll ever fucking meet in your life. I've never even heard you say a racial thing. Race is so inconsequential to you.
I'm into what people think and what they stand for.
You've never discussed race, ever. In the almost... What have I known you? 16 fucking 17 years? I've never heard you discuss race at all. So someone calling you a racist, like, what? You're just making things up.
All they do while Trump's waving a rainbow flag is say he's a homophobe.
There was a guy walking next to me in New York. I was there after the election. I was there for the UFC. It was right after the election. And me and my friend Cam Haynes were walking back from the gym. We went over to the gym. We're walking back. We walked right into the fucking protest. And there was this guy that was standing next to me screaming, Donald Trump, KKK, racist, sexist, anti-gay. Donald Trump, KKK, racist, sexist, anti-gay. He just kept screaming it out as if Donald Trump's in the KKK. As if Donald Trump, are you sure he's racist? Are you sure?
Well, there's any discrimination.
You
It's
sure he's
that he
anti-gay?
mainly hires gay guys that run his casinos and hotels and is friends with them and like gave interviews to The Advocate 20 years ago. It's all just complete made up horse crap.
Yeah,
He's
right.
waving
Fake
a
news.
rainbow flag. At the RNC speech, he says Republicans have to stop being mean to gay people and have to be inclusive. And he's about to enforce civil rights laws for gays and others. And they're calling him a literal homophobe. And listen, all I'm
this is
saying
my
is it's
problem
the
with it.
upside down BS, man.
It's
Yeah,
fake
but
news.
this is my problem with it. My problem with it is that people want to use a real, you're a bigot, you're a this, you're a that. They want to come up with like a nice quick label
That
and
officially makes them in
box
charge.
you in.
That makes you bad.
It boxes you
It's
in and
dehumanization.
defines you, and then you have to defend yourself. Look, you said it best at the beginning of this. Donald Trump's not perfect. He's a man, and he's also a super ambitious, super wealthy man that's constantly on the go. And those kind of dudes are type A, hyper-aggressive personalities. And he's definitely said some shit he shouldn't have said, right? I mean, don't you agree? Like, that
Sure,
whole-
we all do.
Yeah, and the big one is one that he said in confidence with that Billy Bush guy, the grab him by the pussy thing. That's the big
And
one.
who hasn't, in confidence, especially if you're famous, said, man, it's crazy. Women throw themselves on you. You can do anything you want.
he's
That's not
talking about-
sexual assault.
yeah.
A woman's climbing up on top of you. You can do whatever you want. That's what mammals do. She's showing she wants it. She gets it.
Imagine
and they
if
turn
a
it into a
woman said
sexual
that.
assault. It's pure horse crap.
Imagine if a woman said, yeah, I could just see it in their eyes. I could just go up there and grab them in the balls.
We would
Yeah.
laugh.
We would laugh our fucking
if
asses off.
Rihanna just talked about how she can fuck any guy she wants, just walks up to him, grabs him by the dick, we would be like, ah,
Yeah,
that bitch is
exactly.
crazy.
Totally.
We would think it's amazing.
Now, he's talking about groupies. He wasn't talking about that he hides behind bushes and waits
Right.
for joggers
But-
and reaches out and
Well,
grabs
it's also
them.
out of
Listen,
context. And I'm
It's
not even-
out of context. He's having a guy conversation, like he described it as locker room talk.
And there's
this
an
is
asshole
not, but this is not
outside
defending
with the
it.
recorder going,
Right.
oh, I got this.
And this is not defending it. I mean, it's definitely not something he should have said, probably, right?
Sure,
We could all
exactly.
agree to that. But what is he really doing? He's really what we call talking shit. Like Eddie and
Locker
I
room
have
talk.
talked shit so much to each other, laughing, saying things we totally don't believe, we totally don't mean, but we're trying to make each other laugh.
You're being silly.
Yeah.
Eddie and I are silly all the time. If you had a transcript of all the conversations that you and I have had over the fucking 17 years we've been friends, oh shit, we'd be in trouble.
Can't put it on air.
We'd be in fucking real trouble.
You guys
if
are
you
really
just
being
took them
funny.
out of context.
Before I went on Facebook mentions and did that live video, you guys were being so funny watching the stupid TV show.
Oh my god, that show was awesome.
And then as soon as I turned the camera on, you wouldn't say all that stuff. And it wasn't. None of it was bad, but it was like off the cuff. You
Right.
weren't. You weren't censoring.
Wow, I forgot what I said too. There's a lot of marijuana involved in this conversation.
Yeah,
Man,
go off.
It's
Alex.
been forever
Go
since I
off.
wore headphones.
I know.
Jesus, I'm putting these off.
You don't like them? You don't have to wear them.
No,
You're
I just-
so loud. You don't have to worry about it.
Ah!
Alex Jones is here.
No, seriously. I just want to do a good job and actually reach out to your
So let's-
110 million.
Who knows how many?
No, you got
There's
90
a lot
million
of people.
downloads a month, 20 million on YouTube, all the derivatives and everything else you're doing. And I hear you sometimes on XM. You still doing that?
No, I'm not on the XM anymore.
All right, well, whatever. The point is that you're one of the biggest shows in the world. Let me give you a little newsflash. Not for your ego, okay? But you need to know this
I don't need
as,
to know
as a signal to the mainstream media of how pathetic they are. CNN's top show has maybe 1 million viewers. Their average show about 100,000. Fox's top show, maybe 4 million a night on a bigger night. Okay, great, good for them. I'm not in competition with them. The point is, they're a freaking joke. I conservatively, every day on terrestrial radio, have 4 million listeners on my 200 plus stations. That's rated, proven. I mean, that's big right there. And then millions and millions of downloads every day, tens of millions of people watching the videos. You add it all together, 40-something million a week. We go back to this. What's happening? It isn't about Joe Rogan or Alex Jones or Eddie Bravo or any of that. It's about the people are hungry for being able to have a wider selection of things.
Well,
and a wider
you and
selection
I
of
are in
ideas.
totally different categories because all I'm trying to do is give them interesting content. You're actually trying to run a news show and expose things.
But you've got
and
really smart commentary. I watch clips all the time.
I have people on all the time, but it's
try
just
to open,
talking.
You try to open minds all the time, and
try
he's
to
opening
open-
minds a different way.
I'm
that's
not
what I wanna say
honestly-
next.
from the-
What I'm not honestly not trying to open minds. I'm being curious and I'm asking questions and I'm trying to learn as much myself. And then once I do learn about things, I would like to have that person come on to teach other people
Sure.
about it because I think it's interesting.
Well, here's the big enchilada for folks. If you want,
The
I
big
can lay this out.
enchilada.
And I'd
Drum
like to make
roll.
a documentary down the road and actually break this down. But there is a whole breakaway civilization. And listen, I don't get
What?
into UFOs. Get ready. I don't ever talk about this.
For real? Breakaway civilization?
Are you ready?
Hold on.
Joe, how many things did I tell you over the years?
Too many that
That
came
came
true.
true.
There was a couple that you got wrong. You
Which
can't get them
one?
all right. Like the
Which one?
Y2k people
They
knock
take
you
that
all
out
the
of
time.
context.
They-
My listeners.
Explain that. Explain the Y2.
We
But
wanna
it's
ask-
okay. A conspiracy theory is just not trusting criminals. Every now and then you can't pin that murder to the criminal, but he's still a criminal, even though you're wrong.
Well, one of the things I'm actually embarrassed about is the Y2K.
Oh, it's
Well,
okay.
hey, well, listen, you're not a computer expert. Neither am I. I didn't go anywhere that night. I stayed fucking home, and I was waiting for that goddamn power to go out.
Sure,
Yeah,
I'll
I
get
didn't
folks
know
the big
either.
news in a minute, but since Eddie Bravo...
2012, I didn't know. I thought, damn, the Mayans knew.
Dude, we thought it was over.
See, I didn't think that.
Eddie Bravo and I were convinced.
Well,
You
once-
bet 2012 license
Yeah,
plate, man.
I had a December 2012 license plate. I did.
Oh, is this tobacco?
Yes, it's strong tobacco from Mexico.
I guess I am in California. This is for
Yes,
medical reasons.
100% medical reasons and legal. Yeah, man. There's a lot of things that people think are going to happen that turn out to not happen. There's always a goddamn asteroid that's going to kill us all that doesn't
I
actually
didn't
hit.
inhale just now.
Good for you. It's important to not inhale.
Tell us the news, Alex. Let's
So
hear it.
what is going on? Aliens are coming?
Well, let me answer.
Nibiru?
Before I do this, let me answer his question because he had a Reagan question too.
Yeah.
Well, let me answer Y2K because I want to be honest about this.
Okay.
This is one of the few things that I have really gotten wrong, and I didn't go with my gut, and so I was proven wrong, and I did it for the wrong reason. So now I'm going to actually confess here on air. I was on one radio station. I've been on Access TV for a few years. I was on one radio station. I already started a show out of my house that was on like 15 radio stations. So I had that at least. But I was on one big radio station, had the top show at night on a station with Howard Stern. It was killer. It was all over the newspaper, had huge ratings. And I was bringing in like 20, 30 grand a month, which was just a huge amount for me, building a whole operation out of that at home. And they come to the sales guys and they go, look, for a year, you've not been behind Y2K. And you're not letting us have all these big sponsors, and you're going to basically be fired if you don't let us endorse these sponsors and have them on air and say you believe in Y2K
Hold on a second. So these sponsors were like doomsday stuff, like canned food and shit,
and bunkers and everything else. So
Jesus
I already
Christ.
believe in food
So they
and stuff
got to
in
push
case there's a problem.
Y2K.
But
You
let
got to
me
push
tell you what
that
happened. Let me tell you what
Y2K. Y2K
hilarious.
means.
But the station wants to make all this money.
500K.
Okay?
So the station made you push Y2K. Wow.
Well, but let me go further. This is one of the few times in my life that I don't want to say I didn't have integrity. I kind of let them convince me. But I think back to the point in the conference room, I just kind of went, okay, sure, I get it. And then I went, and then once I decided it was true, I really pushed it. So it's almost like I'd lied to myself, because I'm being honest about this process.
Right.
So this is what happened. For like a year and a half, I'm saying it's BS, it's a government hoax, because they're like, the Navy says the chips are all bad and 54 cities will completely fall and it's all the death. And I said, they just want to upgrade with all this new spy hubs. They want a new global standardization for the U.S. It's the Telecommunications Act of 96. They want to force all the new chips, because I had NSA sources then that I was having on, okay? And I didn't realize how special it was that I had these sources. They're telling me it's all BS. And people are like, don't argue with the Navy, and and Fox News had ads to get your food. It was just everywhere. So I went, okay, okay, stuff's going to be real.
So it was like a Black Friday for
It was
doomsday
like a Black
people.
Friday deal. So the last few months, and the moral was they ended up firing me anyways.
They did?
But the moral was I kind of convinced myself it was real. So by the end of it, and of course they edit like 12 hours of me on that day into like 5 minutes. It sounds totally insane.
Right.
But it's like nuclear reactor having a problem here, and it really was happening. And like, and there was a missile fired from Russia, which like was an ICBM and then got like shot down. That was ABC News. So I'm like, all right, this isn't really happening. Okay, we got prepared. It's always going to be prepared, but hopefully, a reactor's having a problem. Okay, some stuff. So there was some outages and some problems, but government and MSM had hyped it Then they used it to demonize alternative media even then when it wasn't catastrophic. So my gut told me it was BS. It was BS. And so thank God I missed the whole 2012 thing. But still they said, Alex Jones says the world's ending, Nibiru 2012, where if you really search what I say, it's all a load of crap. But I didn't criticize you when I saw you doing it. I said,
I was balls deep in Nibiru.
I said, I hope he's wrong.
yeah.
But here's the thing.
Well, I've always
it
loved
wasn't
that
just the
stuff.
radio station. It wasn't the radio station. It was the listeners. They were pissed at me that I wouldn't go into this thing.
Well, it's fun for them. See, when you start talking about the end of the world or doomsday coming, people like that shit because it gives them something to think about.
But
because
here's
there's
the
a
thing.
lot of people.
I'm talking
Alex
about a real
Jones,
future. I believe in humanity.
I know.
I'm not doomsday.
Listen, it was a long time ago. It was 17 years ago, right?
wrong.
Y2k?
Yeah.
17 fucking years ago.
But at least
And-
2012 didn't get you, so
Right.
you redeemed yourself.
Yeah, you came
'Cause it
back
got
strong.
me. I
It's
wrote
okay,
songs
I get
about
it.
Look,
2012.
17. Think about 17 years ago. That's a long time ago. I mean, and you getting fired from that job. Every great radio guy's gotten fired.
Yeah.
Howard Stern got fired. You got fired. Like Bubba the Love Sponge.
And it was just
fired.
like Howard
Everybody's
Stern.
been fired.
I had top ratings, and they were all pissed and weird about it. The weird thing is they didn't mess with the losers. They were all flipping out because I was getting the big paychecks.
Well, it makes sense. It
Just
all
like
makes
Howard.
sense.
It was the same
yeah.
thing.
And the Y2K thing totally makes sense. That they would want you to really push that and sell it hard because who the fuck knows? You know, we don't know. You get scared. You're like, what if they're
exactly.
hiding this from
Alex,
us?
the Navy says it's going to happen. Washington Post. Now, your listeners are real, and it was the one time I went, oh, okay, maybe I'll go do it.
I had people on that were telling me there was something that was going to happen on 2012. They were sure of it.
Yeah, the Mayans.
So they bullied you
Yeah,
into
I
it,
had
too.
people.
I
No,
believed
it's
it.
not a bullied thing.
Well,
It
you
was
just hear everybody
fun.
doing it. You start
It's-
like stampeding like lemmings.
I'm
There's a
telling
lot
you,
of
there's a
double crossing
psychological.
going on, just massive double crossing. Because I really used to be into UFOs, but the more you look into UFOs, it looks like, and that's another conspiracy
Well, I actually
theory
have
on its own.
NASA
It looks
sources.
like the government
Listen,
used
I had a guy that
UFOs
was
as
going
a
to give
distraction.
me the full NASA deal, and when he came to the meeting, he couldn't do it. I knew this guy well, and then the next time he was going to meet with me, his heart blew up.
It blew up
Yeah,
like a bomb in his
no,
heart.
Like they said, his heart like completely ruptured.
Well,
The point is, his name was Raymond Teague, and if you look at Mission Control, he was the main guy on Mission Control that controlled the cameras and everything. Mm-hmm. And I've been to his house. He had national security letters from the president. He'd run like secret operations in Cambodia and Laos. He was an Air Force engineer. And he knew the whole deal. And he would say,
knew what whole deal?
He would say,
What
I
was
need
the
to
deal?
meet with you and tell you everything. And he would come and start gulping. And he couldn't get it out.
Couldn't get what out?
He said he was so threatened or whatever, he couldn't tell me
About, you think about
about NASA.
he probably left and he was
NASA?
laughing. He was in the car.
No. Raymond wasn't.
He thinks I was having a
No,
heart
he did
attack.
tell me a lot of it.
This
He
crazy
said,
motherfucker.
He said, Alex, your sources are right. There were advanced technologies. We were worried the astronauts might die. They had two teams in orbit, one with the real ships. This is not a joke, Joe.
Wait a minute.
They had
The
one
real
with the
ships that
advanced
had
ships.
UFOs in orbit and they were communicating
You
with them?
think Kennedy and the government and everybody and Nixon are going to have this giant thing about America's #1 and not have a backup plan if the astronauts die?
Put those headphones back on. You lost your fucking mind. This weed has got you
Hey, you
into
know
a
what?
corner. Hold on. Let him finish there.